recorded live in Jacksonville, Florida. This is Trivial Warfare. More than just a pub quiz, Trivial Warfare is your gateway to a worldwide trivia community. Join your hosts, Jonathan.
We just described Ric Flair as Neanderthal Man and Planet of the Apes.
Chris.
Yo, we going down to Sesame Street.
That's your impression of hardcore rap?
Carmela.
That would irritate the hell out. I'm like, I just want my groceries. My ice cream is melting.
Ben.
4 halogens in that list.
Oh my God.
You were like, it's not the halogens. I'm like, no, Ben, no.
Those damn halogens got me again.
And the rest of the Trivial Warfare Army for another week of fun and games. Now here's your host, Jonathan Oakes.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Trivial Warfare. We are the podcast that takes the pub quiz out of the pub and brings it home to you. And this is our women's episode. So welcome, everybody. I've got some great guests today. First up, I've got Kellie McClure. Hi, Kellie.
Hi, Carmela.
Hi, I got Lisa Wolfisch. Hi, Lisa.
Hello.
Susan Herder.
Hi.
I've got Stacy Bridget. Hi, Stacy.
Hi, Carmela.
And I've got Katie Sekelsky. Hi, Katie.
Hello.
All right, let's get to know everyone a little bit better. Kellie, we're going to start with you to let everyone know where you're from, what you do, and something interesting about yourself.
My name is Kellie McClure. I work for a med tech company in product marketing. So when you go to the hospital and have scans done or have blood work done, that's us. And something fun about me, I always hate this part because I think nothing about me is ever fun. I'm handing over my D&D character to Jonathan tonight. Normally we play D&D on Thursdays, and so I really hope he doesn't kill her.
Yeah, prayer circle for your D&D character.
Thanks. That'll be my fun thing for tonight.
Lisa.
Hey, Lisa Wolfisch. I'm in Washington, D.C., and what I do is this time around my fun thing, because after a really long time in a fairly stressful position, I jumped to a new agency, and now I have a lot more balance in my life, and I'm doing something new. I'm researching emerging technology and thinking about how the government can adopt different kinds of technology and looking at things like 5-10 years out. So it's really exciting for me to be doing something different, and I'm doing a lot of writing, and I'm being paid for it, so I'm a writer.
All right, that sounds awesome. I'm glad that change is working out for you. It sounds fun. Susan.
I'm Susan Herder. I'm a technology coordinator for a suburban school district just north of the Twin Cities in Minnesota, so it's very cold right now. And my fun thing, for Christmas, my husband got me a gift card so I could restock my entire bakeware set. So I've been basically nonstop baking, which is showing in my waistline and that of my coworkers because I bake mostly for them.
That's a good husband.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Also, I bet the cookies are awesome.
They're pretty good. Today was a brownie day.
Oh.
But he does all the cooking. I do all the baking, so it's fair share.
Yeah. No, that's the perfect combination.
Mm-hmm.
You can do the cooking, I do the baking, and then we'll always be fed. Sounds
Exactly.
awesome. Stacy.
I teach high school math and business and coach soccer. Something interesting about myself, I would say probably nothing, but if I have to go with something, in honor of Women's History Month, I come from a line of all women. So my mom has 6 sisters, I have 4 sisters, and I now have 4 daughters.
Wow. That's amazing.
That's a lot of X chromosomes. That's amazing.
It's a lot of ladies. That's actually pretty cool. My dad's, they're all boys. So I don't run into very many people where it's all girls. That's awesome. Well, Katie,
Makes for a very interesting Thanksgiving dinner.
Oh, absolutely. If it's anything like my family, there's a lot of women in my mom's side of the family, and Thanksgiving's usually lively. So And Katie, I know most people know who you are, but just remind them. And I'm sure you have something new and fun and interesting going on.
Yeah, no problem. I am Katie Sekelsky. I am a freelance graphic designer. That's somewhat recent, and trivia writer based in Kent, Ohio. And a fun thing about myself is that I've been sewing a lot during the pandemic, and I recently made myself a jacket for the first time. And I designed the fabric that is the lining for the jacket. And so I'm pretty proud of that.
Oh, that's cool. Now you can add fashion designer to your list of things that you do.
But only for myself. I'm not good enough to sew for other people. And it's specifically just
be like, it's couture. It's for me. All right. Well, this is the women's episode. Katie is going to be hosting. But before we do that, it's time for Warm It Up, Chris.
It's time to warm it up on Trivial Warfare today. And there's only one person who can warm it up for the TWA. And that's Chris. And sometimes Jonathan.
And playing the part of Chris today is Katie. What do you got for us?
All right. So this is a Warm It Up, Chris, that when friend of the podcast, Lauren Carey, hears this, she's going to be very jealous that she was not on this particular episode because I'm about to give you each, going around in a circle, a Weird Al song that was that's a parody of something originally performed or most famously performed by a woman or a female-fronted group. And because some of them are fairly obvious what the song is, you're going to have to give me the song and the artist, the original.
Okay.
I'm really glad these questions are for points.
Me too. Me too.
I think I have these in an okay order. I'm going to go in a circle based on where you are on my screen right now. So starting with Susan, your song is Ricky.
Mickey, Tony Basil.
That's correct. For Kellie, I Love Rocky Road.
That's I Love Rock and Roll, which I think is Joan Jett.
And the Blackhearts, but yes.
Okay.
Originally performed by the Arrows. It was a cover, but I was looking for Joan Jett because she is the female singer who made it the most popular. Stacy, your song is Like a Surgeon.
Like a Virgin, Madonna.
That is correct. See, you don't really actually even need to know Weird Al's discography. There's a few slightly harder ones in here coming up, but now for Lisa, I Think I'm a Clone Now.
Oh, okay. That's going to be I Think I'm Alone Now. And I'm going to go with Tiffany because that's the one I remember.
It is Tiffany.
Yeah.
You were slightly off on the title. It's I Think We're Alone Now.
I think we're alone now.
That one also actually a cover, even though I was looking for Tiffany, originally performed by Tommy James and the Shondells.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I knew it was a cover. Yeah.
Carmela, your turn. It is, you've got Perform This Way.
I imagine that would be Born This Way, Lady Gaga.
That is correct. Back around to Susan. Actually, I only have 12 total, so it's not going to go around 3 full times. But Susan, you get A Complicated Song.
Huh.
I have an idea if you don't.
Yeah, go for it.
Is this Complicated Avril Lavigne?
It is. Yeah. Changed up the patterning of the song titling there.
Yeah.
Kellie, next one for you. Foil.
Foil.
I
have no idea. Foil. Soil.
Anyone else want to grab it?
Got nothing.
Is it Royals?
Oh, Lord.
Royals by Lord. Yep.
Yeah.
But about aluminum foil, naturally. All right, Stacy, you're up with Girls Just Want to Have Lunch.
Girls Just Want to Have Fun.
By
And the artist. Oh my gosh, I should know this. I feel horrible that I do not.
Initials CL.
Cyndi Lauper. Sheryl
Yes.
Crow.
Oh no,
What-
you
what
had
is
it.
Initials?
It is Cyndi Lauper.
Okay.
Go with your gut. That's what we've
Also a
learned.
cover.
So when we start playing for points, go with your gut. Or what your first thought is. All right. Lisa.
I will. I'm terrified after the start.
Lisa. Handy.
Candy. Is there a song Candy? I don't know.
There is.
Carmela's shaking her head, so I'm going to say
it's
Candy.
not the right answer.
I don't know. Anyone else?
So if it's Candy, then that would be Mandy Moore, right? But that's not the song.
But it's Fancy by Iggy Azalea featuring Charlie XCX. Okay, Carmela, your next one is Party in the CIA.
I gotta listen to some of these. I'm a bad friend to Lauren that I don't know most of the actual parodies. This is Party in the USA, Miley Cyrus.
That is correct. All right, Susan, phony calls.
I have no idea.
Anyone else want to grab this one?
Phony calls.
Phone call. Is phone call a song?
Well, there's Telephone, which is Lady Gaga,
Right.
but I don't think that's
I will
it.
tell you that it's from the Bad Hair Day album that I believe was like 94-ish.
Oh.
Yeah, I was 5 years old in 94.
That one is Waterfalls by TLC.
Oh, okay.
Don't go
I get
making
it.
phony calls.
Gotcha.
And our final one goes to Kellie. This one might be the hardest, so I apologize for this. I believe it's off of his first album. Stop Dragging My Car Around.
Oh, I know this one.
Maybe it's not the hardest one.
Very appropriate for
It's
Lauren
just the one that
Carey.
I
I was going to say Lauren
that
Carey
also
would know this
Is it-
one. Cold.
Is it Stop Dragging My Heart Around?
Yes,
That is correct.
But I don't know who does it.
Stevie Nicks and Tom Petty.
Mhm.
That would be why.
Are we warmed up?
Awesome.
I think we're getting a little warm.
All right.
Well, that was fun. I like that. And you're right. That will make Lauren Carey very happy. So, Women's History episode. Katie is hosting. The teams are going to be Lisa and Susan and Stacy, Kellie, and Carmela. And it's time to play the game.
Players. Oh, yeah. Y'all know what time it is. This is Mr. Literature himself, cordially inviting you to the game. This is 6 rounds of trivia goodness. 3 questions per round. Every right answer gets you 10 points. In the middle, we'll take a pause for the cause and ask a midpoint question worth up to 20 juicy points. After round 6, you can wager any or all those points you've been building up and take a shot at the final round. It's a series of theme-based questions we call the Gauntlet. It's just that easy, baby. But this game ain't gonna play itself, players. Let's get it on.
Okay, our round 1, question 1 category is Smash the Patriarchy. What species of African mongoose live in matriarchal packs? Their societies were featured on a popular Animal Planet series in the mid-2000s.
We can lock in.
Okay. Lisa and Susan are locked in. Everyone else can talk.
My first comment was I didn't realize there were multiple species of mongoose.
There was a popular thing on, I think it was on Animal Planet, called Meerkat Manor, and the meerkats are kind of mongoose shaped. I don't know if they're actually mongoose, but that's like the closest thing I'm gonna get.
That's fine with me. It's more than what I had, so good with
Stacy, what do you think?
I was with Kellie. I thought mongoose was the species, not that there were multiple. So that sounds great to me.
All right, let's go with meerkats.
Okay. The team of 3 is locked in with meerkats. Lisa and Susan, what did you go with?
We also both agreed that we knew Meerkat Manor was a show, and they kind of have the same body shape as a mongoose, so we locked in with meerkats.
And you are both correct for 10 points. It is meerkats, and it was referencing Meerkat Manor.
Nice job, Carmela.
Hey, shapes help, I guess.
All right, question 2 in the category of fashion. Fashion designer Diane von Furstenberg is commonly associated with what style of dress?
We can lock that in.
Okay. Lisa and Susan locked in quick again. Carmela, Kellie, and Stacy, feel free to talk it out.
Yeah, I think we can also lock in quick. I'm pretty sure she's the one who developed the wrap dress.
Locking in with that?
If my teammates are good with that.
All right, just making sure.
Yes.
I don't want to preempt you there. All right, Susan and Lisa, what did you lock in with?
Lisa messaged me wrap dress before I could even get wrap typed into our chat. So we also locked in with wrap.
I assume while I was stumbling over the name, which I actually said correctly and then still stumbled after I said it. Yeah, that is correct. It is the wrap dress.
Awesome.
She apparently did not officially invent it, but it made some changes to an existing style and kind of made it shoot up in popularity.
I think wrap dresses are great.
Wouldn't a toga be considered a wrap dress? In which case, that style is real old.
Yeah.
All right. And question 3 in the category of television. What UPN and later CW sitcom that debuted in 2000 launched the career of Tracee Ellis Ross?
All right, we're going to lock in.
All right, Lisa and Susan, your turn to talk. If you want to. But you probably should.
We probably should. Not because we're not really sure.
We're not sure, but I think Susan, that your answer is as close as at least I'm going to get.
Okay.
Sounds good.
For no apparent reason, Girlfriends, the name Girlfriends popped into my head, and I don't even know if there's a show called that, but I think that's our best guess right now, so we'll go with that.
Okay, locking in with Girlfriends. Carmela, Kellie, and Stacy, what did you go with?
So
Yeah, go ahead, Carmela, it's all you.
Tracee Ellis Ross, if you don't know who she is, she's an actress, and I think Blackish is actually in its last season, but she's the mother on Blackish, and she's Diana Ross's daughter. But I recently watched her Hot Ones episode, and she was actually talking about this show, and I'm pretty sure she was talking about Girlfriends.
She was indeed. You weren't sure if it was a show, Susan and Lisa, but it is, and it is a correct answer.
Oh my goodness.
And we've got a perfect game going through the first round here.
Yeah,
that
30. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
That was all Susan there.
Yep, at the end of the first round, it is tied 30-30.
All right, starting off round 2, question 1 with the category of music. What woman has written or co-written a total of 118 songs that have charted on Billboard's Hot 100, including The Locomotion, One Fine Day, and You Make Me Feel Like a Natural Woman? And we're looking for the writer, not necessarily the performer.
We can lock that.
We can lock.
All right, Lisa and Susan locked in. Everyone else can talk.
All right. I wasn't entirely sure until the end. Aretha Franklin does that song. She sings it, but it was written by Carole King. Pretty sure it's Carole King. Are we good with
Locking
that,
in with
Kellie and
Carole King?
Stacy?
Yep.
All right. Yep. We're locked in.
Yes, recently there was a musical.
Oh, sorry. Lisa and Susan, what did you...
Yeah, we also said Carole King because
Okay,
she wrote all those things.
That's a good reason to answer that. And you are all absolutely correct. We are continuing on in this perfect game, which I'm going to put more and more pressure on you for as we continue on here.
Yeah, just keep mentioning it. It'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
Especially as, and I don't. Maybe you're all going to get this. I don't know. I feel like I know some of you enough. But anyway, next, I don't know what I'm rambling about. The question 2 category is games. Sasha Hostin, who goes by the username Scarlett, is recognized as the highest earning woman in esports. She is most known for playing what video game franchise, which involves the Terrans, the Zerg, and the construction of additional pylons.
All right, we're going to lock in.
Currently, we're just listing games that we're aware of. So,
list them out loud.
Yeah, right? Yeah. So, it's a recent, one of our schools recently started an esports club, and I'm just trying to go through the list of games that I saw in my head to see if anything's like tickling the back of my brain. And so I know some of the kids are doing Rocket League. I know we got rid of a couple of them because of the shoot 'em up aspect, but one of the other ones I think they were talking about was StarCraft. And that's it sounds like a space science-y type thing. Boy, that's a terrible explanation. It's just kind of in the back of my head, but I honestly don't know if that's right.
Well, the back of your head is better than nowhere in my head. So I have no reference other than, ads that I see streaming and whatnot. So I'm fine going with picking one off the list.
Okay. We'll lock in with StarCraft.
Carmela, Kellie, and Stacy, what'd you go with?
So Zerg made me I'm trying to go back into the recesses of my head. I've never played StarCraft, but I feel like Zergs are associated with StarCraft. I don't know. I think they're some sort of alien race. I think Terrans are humans. Yeah, we went with StarCraft because I couldn't think of anything better, and neither could anybody else.
I feel like at this point, rather than playing against each other, you are playing together for the perfect game. And so I actually just edited a future question to be harder, but now I'm thinking I should have made it easier instead. But that's okay. Because StarCraft is the correct answer. If you've ever seen a meme that's about you must construct additional pylons, I don't even know if that's I don't think a voice actually even says it, but that is a command that comes to you in the game of StarCraft, which my friends were very into in college, and I did not enjoy it because I enjoyed the shoot 'em up games.
Yeah, it's not what I've played. I mean, I've done I think there's a big resource gathering component to it. So I've played things like Animal Crossing and Minecraft, but yeah, StarCraft just didn't hit me where I was at. So I never really played it.
Yeah, I don't do too much gaming at all anymore. But in college, I was not very into the strategy games. I was more into more action oriented things until something in my brain switched, and now playing first person shooters gives me motion sickness. So
yeah,
goodbye.
I got to about Mario Kart. Yeah, that was it.
I do. I like a good racing game as well, including Mario Kart.
I'm playing Mass Effect for the 8 billionth time. So,
good pull there, Susan.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm pretty sure when I was in college, the only thing I could play was Minesweeper because it was a very long time ago.
I love Minesweeper. I have it on my phone right now, and I paid so I don't have to watch ads after every game of it. All right. Well, I will mention once more that we have a perfect game going, and then I will read you round 2, question 3 in the category of literature. Chilean author Isabel Allende is known for her writing in what 2-word genre of fiction, which is commonly associated with Latin America? And Allende is Allende.
We can lock in.
Okay.
Or should I say, we will lock in.
Okay. Yep. Sorry.
Oh, yeah,
I wasn't looking at the
in.
screen, and I was just making. I waited for someone to repeat, so I knew who it was locking in. Lisa and Susan are locking in. Carmela, Kellie, and Stacy may talk if they wish, and they should, because talking makes for good podcasts.
The only thing I'm coming up with is stuff that's just complete nonsense.
Yeah.
My first thought was conquistador romance, and that led nowhere.
Oh gosh, I don't know.
That thought. I was like, I wish I knew everybody's voices because we can't lock in with that.
I read all young adult sci-fi. This is way out of my.
Oh, what's that book? It's 100 Years something, and it is flown out of my head. It was written by a man, but it had kind of like that magical realism kind of vibe to it, and I believe that is also a Latin American author, but I don't know it.
About a 1-minute warning.
All right, we need to come up with something though.
I mean, if we're not going to get it, I'm fine with Fiesta Fiction.
I don't know. We'll just go with one of the joke answers and
sure.
Yep.
We'll lock in with Fiesta Fiction then.
Right. Okay, locked in with Fiesta Fiction. Susan and Lisa, what did you go with?
So we started chatting, and I knew, I've read House of the Spirits. So first I thought it was spiritual. Then I got to thinking that's not right. Then got to magical, and then couldn't figure out the second part. So Lisa came up with magical thinking, which I know there's another novel called Year of Magical Thinking, I believe. And that's what we locked in with. But I think Carmela was right, and it's magical realism.
It is.
Yeah, that'll make me very... Yeah, that makes me sad. That makes me sad.
No.
No more
makes me
perfect game,
sad.
but there is a tie game. Yes, it is magical realism, or apparently marvelous realism. Another term for it.
That makes me sad.
I'm sorry.
It's in our chat too.
It's been a while. I mean, I guess it hasn't been too long since I've guest hosted, but I forgot the willpower it takes to like not like visually like react in any way when you're kind of like circling the answer.
It takes practice. Well, at the end of the second round, it's still a tie game, 50-50, and I'm gonna be sad for a little while.
You're still in this, though. You're still in this. All right. Starting out round 3, question 1, we have the category of sports. On February 7th, 2021, Sarah Thomas became the first woman to do what? I'm so sorry. I made this one harder.
We can lock.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Maybe I didn't make it too hard.
We're locked in.
Okay. I was about to write, Stacy, that makes sense with the date. Are you pretty confident on that one?
And this was big news in our community. So I'm pretty sure it's referring Super Bowl.
All right. I'm good with it because
Okay,
I don't
locked
know
in
much about football.
Reffing the Super Bowl. Lisa and Susan, what'd you go with?
Yeah, we locked in. She was a ref in the Super Bowl. I think she was a line judge, but hopefully you don't need to be that specific. But she reffed the Super Bowl.
Yes, I had officiate the Super Bowl. Anything in that realm is going to get you all the points. And now I feel bad for apologizing for making it too hard because clearly I didn't, because I am the dummy that doesn't know sports here.
Don't ever apologize for your questions.
I'm totally repping Sports Jeopardy today, even though I lost on that show by 20,000 points. I just want to point out.
I mean, you're wearing Sports Jeopardy. Lisa's wearing a Bills jersey.
I know.
I don't know why. I apologize. So, round 3, question 2 in the category of history. After the death of her husband in 1807, Chung Yi Sao took over his line of work and flourished. Today, she is often described as history's most successful woman in what profession? And her name is spelled Zheng space yi space Sao, although there were several variations on spelling for it.
Okay.
We are locked in.
Okay, perfect. Lisa and Susan, you can talk it out.
It's not coming to me just as something I've read about. So we're trying to think of professions that would have been around in 1807 that somebody would have been the most successful at that maybe not have happened since. Mm-hmm. So I threw out that maybe she was a pirate.
I like that idea.
I know some other names of some pirates who were successful women, but I don't know, some kind of maker of something. I don't know. Not anything we know that there are tons of successful women since then.
Right. I keep thinking 1807 and what was going on in the world then, and I'm coming up. I mean, piracy seems good. Pirate seems...
If it's not too late for that, but I've got nothing really.
Yeah, I don't.
So we can say that we've already ruined our perfect game. So we'll lock in with pirate.
Yeah.
All right, locked in. Carmela, Kellie, and Stacy, what'd you go with?
Oh, we're just going to learn the viewing habits of a modern Carmela. We already know that I watch Hot Ones, and so. The name kind of sounds familiar, but I remember watching an episode of Drawfee where they were drawing historical figures that they thought were cool. And one was a woman who had taken over her husband's like pirating business or whatever and became like the most successful pirate ever, like united all of the Chinese pirating fleets and basically just harassed the seas for a long time until finally like her fleet and like whoever was in charge of China at the time like came to an agreement, and they were like got off scot-free. They all got amnesty and just like retired to a life of riches. So I'm pretty sure this is her. I hope it's her because she sounded awesome. So we went with being a pirate.
And that is absolutely correct. And I don't need to explain anything about it because Carmela just gave it to you. But yeah, she had command of some ridiculous number of ships at the end of her life or end of career. Right. Yeah, because I think part of it was then that she like had so much like political influence because she was in command of so many people that when I can't remember if she just decided to be done pirating or if she like got caught, but basically like she just like retired to the countryside, and even though like the government knew where she was, like she had so much influence, like they wouldn't do anything about it. I believe that was part of her story.
Yeah, like everyone that like worked underneath her got amnesty for all their pirating just because she just had so much power.
Yeah, like you can't arrest like tens of thousands of pirates all at once. I mean, maybe you can, but I don't think they did. Okay, and question 3 and round 3 in the category of film. With 2023's The Marvels, what woman, who directed the recent Candyman sequel, will become the youngest director of a Marvel film, beating the record previously set by Ryan Coogler, director of Black Panther?
All right, we're going to lock in.
All right. Lisa and Susan, you can talk.
We could talk. We don't have much to say.
Nope.
But we could talk.
You may talk.
We could sit and name directors that we know.
None of whom are probably young enough to be younger than Ryan Coogler. That's the problem. So we know it's not Chloe Zhao because she did Eternals, and it's already out.
And I don't think it's any of the female directors that are coming to mind.
No.
They're sort of in some different genres.
Yeah, everyone I'm thinking of, like Catherine Bigelow, they're all going to be older.
Probably a minute or so.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I know Bryce Dallas Howard directed some of the Mandalorian episodes. I don't know how old she is.
I don't know either, but that's probably as good a guess as we're going to come up with.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to come up with any.
Chairs.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll go with that. We'll go with Bryce Dallas Howard.
All right. You're locked in now, too. Carmela, Kellie, and Stacy, what'd you go with?
So we did talk about Chloe Zhao, but she did direct Eternals, which, in my opinion, should have been a television series and not a 2-hour movie that they tried to cram way too much into. But anyway, I have opinions about that movie. And I was just trying to come up with other directors. I think the age is wrong, but she directed A Wrinkle in Time, which is kind of that sci-fi-ish movie. So we ended up going with Ava DuVernay.
All right. The correct answer is Nia DaCosta.
Oh,
correct
I have
answer.
heard that.
I haven't seen Candyman, so that probably didn't help.
Yeah, me either.
Same.
So we are still tied. It is 70-70. So let's get into the midpoint. Let's do it.
All right. Your midpoint question in the category of U.S. politics. 9 U.S. states currently have female governors. You must give 5. You'll get 4 points for each one that is correct, but only give us 5. And if anyone wants to start locking in, it would be a good idea.
We can lock in.
Yep, we can lock.
Any remaining convo on the other side?
Okay. I know for sure that Michigan does.
Right.
Because 3 guys just went to jail for threatening to kidnap her.
Right.
And New York is because what's his
They took over for Cuomo.
Yeah. Him. So we know Michigan and New York. And then our other guess
was Alabama.
Said Alabama.
Yeah, I know it was a southern state, and I remember being mad. Can't remember if it was an abortion bill or something where I'm like, you're a woman. Why would you go ahead with this? like it didn't make sense to me. And I feel like that was Alabama. Looks like we also we're throwing around Arizona, New Mexico, and Maryland. It would honestly be throwing a dart. So
Yeah. I was thinking Maryland just because like DC has a female mayor, so maybe they're friendly in that part of the world. So do we want to do Michigan, New York, Alabama, Maryland, and New Mexico?
I'm fine with that if Stacy is.
Yeah, those sound great to me.
Cool. So we'll do that.
Okay. And Lisa and Susan, what are your 5?
Okay, so we also said Alabama because, yes, she signed that bill. We said New York because Cuomo. We said Michigan also, right, because it was just in the news. They did the court case of her kidnappers or wannabe kidnappers, I guess. Then we also said South Dakota because that governor gets a lot of press for being a conservative governor. And then we said Kansas because Kansas has a Democrat governor who was in the news recently for vetoing the Republican redistricting map. So that was familiar. Pretty sure that was a woman. I think that's 5, right?
That is.
Yeah, Alabama, New York, Kansas, Michigan, South Dakota.
All right. Well, I am about to give you the list of the 9 states. So we have Oregon, New York, Alabama, Kansas, New Mexico, Maine, South Dakota, Iowa, and Michigan. So that means Lisa and Susan, all 5 of yours were correct. And Carmela, Kellie, and Stacy, you had 4 out of the 5. Maryland was the only one that was not correct.
I thought about Maine, but I didn't say anything because I always think of their senator, who I am not a fan of. And I was like, yeah, then maybe that's who I'm thinking about. I should have thought about it a little bit harder. All right, so 5 correct for Lisa and Susan, 4 correct for us. So after the midpoint, we do have some separation. Lisa and Susan are in the lead with 90. Stacy, Kellie, and Carmela have 86.
And sitting here in my basement in Maryland, I kept a very straight face.
We appreciate you. Let's get into round 4.
All right. Round 4, question 1 in the category of business. What is the more formal sounding name used by the Black American entrepreneur who was born Sarah Breedlove in 1867?
We're going to lock that in.
Okay. Locked in. Everyone else, go ahead and talk.
I was going to say, I know the name Breedlove, but it's like professional sounding name. Like, that is her name.
Formal sounding name. In case that.
Oh yeah.
Coinage.
This might be Madam. I think it's C.J. Walker. I'm trying to remember because Ben's talked about her and has told me about her. I feel like she had to do with hair care products during that time. So I think that's who this is. And calling yourself Madam, that sounds a little bit more formal. So it kind of fits with the clue. So I don't know if anyone has any thoughts about that.
I have nothing better.
No, I also have little to contribute for this. So that sounds wonderful to me.
Okay, then we're going to go with Madam Walker.
Okay, and Lisa and Susan.
We both also agreed and said Madam Walker.
And you are all correct. Madam C.J. Walker. She had a line of cosmetics and hair care products for Black women. She's also considered by the Guinness Book of World Records, at least, I don't know what their exact criteria is, but I'm sure it's pretty legit, as the first female self-made millionaire in America.
Cool.
Okay, round 4, question 2 in the category of theater. Playwright Eve Ensler is also known by what single letter? The letter appears at the beginning of the title of her most famous work. After the is before the first letter.
We can lock in.
Okay, locked in.
I think we're circling to an answer here.
Yeah, I feel betrayed. I got a theater degree and realized that the vast majority of my credit hours were taught by men. And so I'm pretty certain that we did not cover this particular playwright Yeah, Stacy said V, and then all of a sudden all we could think was the vagina monologues. So I think, are going to lock in with V.
Okay.
Yep.
And Lisa and Susan?
We thought the same thing. We came up with the vagina monologues right away, so we also locked in with V.
And you are both correct again. She is also known just as V, and she did write the vagina monologues.
Nice.
All right, and question 3 in the round in the category titles. An ELO rating, spelled ELO, of at least 2,500 is among the criteria to be awarded what title? The 39 women who have this title include Judith Polgar and Nona Gaprindashvili. Note that the title is not gender exclusive or specific. Might be a better phrasing of that.
We can lock in.
Sounds like a score. Like if you like have like it's some sort of score, which makes me think of like sports or games, but I don't know what it would be.
I don't think it's any of like the British Royal Order stuff because all of those are gender specified.
Yeah.
With lady and dame and
of course
countess and all that.
I see the letters ELO next to each other, and all I think about is Electric Light Orchestra.
Yeah.
It doesn't help. I'm just going to sing Mr. Blue Sky for the rest of the evening. Yeah, I don't know what this is, unfortunately. Like I said, having a number associated with it makes me think it's some sort of score. But like, what needs a score?
Katie, you said there were 29 women?
39.
39 women. So I was trying to think of like a particular kind of judge or like a politician that would get a rating of some kind, like who gets rated.
Do we do that? Like, do we rate politicians?
Or like you said scores. I was thinking like test scores.
Yeah, like an SAT or something, or an MCAT. I wonder if they're being scored in magical realism.
Wondering if this has to do with like horses or fencing or something. Some sort of sport combines. I have nothing.
We need an answer. Sorry.
No, it's cool.
You said you want to just do like lawyer or something. Maybe it's outside of the United States, and it's something specific to a different country. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't think we were going to have an answer
not
here.
Gender specific. So,
how about captain of a boat?
Okay, sure, captain.
Go with captain.
I'm pretty sure there's more captains than that, but I don't got anything.
Sure. All right, locked in with captain. Susan and Lisa.
So we both went in the same direction at the same time. Like our answers came in right after each other, and we thought about like what is something where you're going to have a high score and a title. And Susan, you want to say what we went with?
Yeah. So, and I was thinking along the same lines when you said it wasn't gender specific, and we both came up with, could that be chess and could it be a grandmaster? And we were like, yeah, let's just go with that. We both had the same idea, so we figured we might as well go with it together.
It could indeed be that, and it is that. It is chess grandmaster.
That makes a lot of sense. Great job.
Yeah, at chess tournaments, like the tiers are separated by ELO ratings. And despite this being Women's History Month, shout out to my friend Dan, who answered my very urgent text earlier today, in which I asked him, is it pronounced ELO like Jeff Lynne's band, or ELO like a British person saying hello? And that was when I learned that it is named after a guy whose last name was ELO. And so it's just ELO.
Cool. Well, I didn't know that. I learned something today. So
I thought it was an acronym. So it was like, okay.
Before today, I did as well. I had heard of the term, but didn't know that much about it before.
Yeah, we were trying to figure out what ELO stood for, other than the band.
That wouldn't have helped you.
So after the fourth round, Lisa and Susan have pulled further ahead. It is 120 to 106.
Round 5, question 1 in the category of art. You all knew an art question was coming. What is the alliterative name of the feminist art collective founded in 1985, whose members wear ape masks in order to maintain anonymity?
We're going to lock in.
Yeah, we were just about to lock it in. I think this was on Learned League and I missed it, so I learned it, I think.
That would be better than me because I'm pretty sure I missed it and still have no idea what it is. But Lisa came up with Gorilla Girls, and it made sense to me. So that's what we locked in with.
And Kellie, Carmela, and Stacy?
Yeah, trying to build up my art score. I started looking up weird things for Learned League, and they did like a lot of like activist billboards and stuff. Yeah, we ended up going with Gorilla Girls. Spelled gorilla like the tactics, not the animal. Gorilla Girls.
Mm-hmm.
And that is absolutely correct. 10 points all around. But they do wear gorilla masks.
Right, they do.
Know.
They do that.
Yes. Yes, spelled like guerrilla warfare. Okay, question 2 of the round in the category of literature. The Haunting of Hill House, which has been adapted into film as well as a Netflix limited series, was based on a novel by what author?
I'm getting this one.
Is that a lock-in?
If they're good with it, yeah.
Go right ahead.
All right. We're locked in.
They're locked in. Lisa and Susan, go ahead.
I should pay closer attention when I read books. My gut instinct for some reason was Shirley Jackson, but I'm not sure.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I know her name is definitely one that you associate with sort of gothic-y horror type things. Mm-hmm. So I'm happy with going with that. I think there's one other person whose name I'm probably not going to pull that I could put on the table, but I'm not going to pull it. I get a lot of my Shirley Jackson, Willa Cather, Carson McCullers. I get people kind of, mixed up. So I'm happy going with Shirley Jackson.
Okay. Oh, yeah, sorry. I didn't wait for the official.
We'll lock
okay.
it. It's all good.
Okay. Everyone's locked in. Lisa and Susan went with Shirley Jackson. Carmela, what did you know immediately?
So you might also be familiar with her short story, The Lottery, that for some reason I had to read when I was in the 5th grade.
Oh boy.
like why are we choosing the 5th grade to introduce this story to people?
Early.
we read it as a class. And yeah, this is definitely Shirley Jackson.
It is definitely Shirley Jackson. Good job.
Yeah, we had to read that like in 6th grade also, and
yeah, ours was middle school.
That was weird. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I guess at that age, I was still attending Catholic Mass and like hearing about people getting stoned.
So all you read was
times.
Bible.
Well, I mean,
not the fun kind.
It all fits, with The Lottery. It was the Hunger Games before the Hunger Games.
Who was preparing you for reading The Crucible where they were crushing witches? It's all fine.
All right. Question 3 in the category of history. Queen Amani-Reines, who successfully protected her domain from Caesar Augustus in the 1st century BCE, ruled what kingdom located in what is today Sudan?
We're going to go ahead and lock in.
Okay. Locked in. Lisa and Susan, you can talk if you want.
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm not going to be helpful on this one. I can tell you that much.
There's a lot of times when you hear people with different demonyms in a lot of old things, and you don't know if there's a place or if it means something else or whatnot. So I was trying to think of, those kinds of things that you would have seen in, Egypt or Rome. And the only thing I could think of was there seemed to be a lot of, people that they referred to as Nubian slaves. I have no idea if that's a place. I don't know if it was, something else. But for lack of anything else, I'll say maybe there was a kingdom Nubia. I don't know. I really hope I'm not saying something that's, not okay. I don't know. That's kind of all we had.
Let's go with it. It's a total blank spot for me.
Okay, locked in with Nubia?
Yeah.
Okay. Carmela, Kellie, and Stacy?
So I was trying to think of queens. So there's a Nubian queen, and I think that was, in that time frame, in that location. So we also end up going with Nubia because I was pretty sure that was in Africa.
So Nubia is in Africa. I believe it's more of a region than a specific kingdom. So this kingdom would be described as the Nubian kingdom, but it is the kingdom of Kush, Kush.
Oh, well.
But you are in the right part of the world. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's Northern Africa or Northeastern Africa specifically, but
Stacy did say that she felt that it had a different name. But I was like, I don't know what it is other than Nubia.
Yeah, I honestly didn't even know if that was a place. So
it is a place.
That's the end of the fifth round.
That was the end of that round. Yep. Sorry.
All right. So Lisa and Susan are still in the lead with 140. Stacy, Kellie, and Carmela have 126. Still a very tight game.
It looks kind of basically like roughly the Nile River Valley watershed, something like that. And that is based on a very rudimentary scan of the first 2 paragraphs of a Wikipedia page. So don't take it from me, kids. Look it up at your local library.
Yeah.
Take it with a salt lick.
It definitely makes sense. I've always heard the term Nubian queen. So that's what made me think of that. So
yep. Perfectly reasonable, at least in my knowledge. Okay, round 6, question 1. Category is music. Quinn is the surname of what indie pop duo that formed in Calgary, Alberta in the late 1990s? Quin.
I think we can lock that in, Carmela.
Katie will lock in if they want to talk.
Okay. If you'd like to think out loud.
So I know I said Allie and AJ. I'm pretty sure they're sisters, but I can't think if they're Canadian. There was another duo I started to write, and I think one half of them is Sarah. Do we know Sarah for anything with a pop duo? You guys know pop music very well.
No, like I was saying earlier, I feel like my entire
I almost messed up a Cyndi Lauper question. So I've got,
and that's okay.
Nothing here.
Yeah, I feel like my entire catalog of trivia knowledge is all based on men. Like I'm just learning that now, and I feel like I need to go learn other things.
Sarah's
Allie and AJ, at least I've heard of them.
Right. But like I said, I'm not sure if they're Canadian or if it's the right time frame. They may be more recent.
Yeah.
It's Sarah. Something Sarah. It's not like a normal name. What's a normal name? I don't have a normal name. Well, at least in this country, I don't have a normal name. Elsewhere, I would.
There's Jesse and Tegan.
Tegan and Sarah. That's who I'm thinking
Tegan
of.
and Sarah. Is that who you're thinking? I feel like that's more recent, though.
But I feel like they might be Canadian. I don't.
I mean, I'm good with either
Canadian.
one.
I want to go with Tegan and Sarah. Okay. If we're cool with that.
That's fine.
All right. So that's what we're going to lock in with.
That sounds great.
Okay.
All right. Locked in. Lisa and Susan.
That was painful to listen to.
Oh, sorry.
Because we also came up with Tegan and Sarah, and we were hoping you wouldn't come up with the second name.
No. Susan came up with Tegan and Sarah.
Yeah, Carmela, you pulled a Jonathan. Although yeah, but you did because it is Tegan and Sarah.
Yes.
As soon as you said Reagan, I'm like, you're about to get it. You're about to get it. But yes, they are identical twins. All right. Question 2. Category is science. In 2009.
Science.
Oh, yes. I always forget to pause. I apologize. In 2009, Ada Yonat won the Nobel Prize in Chemistry for her work studying the structure and function of what cellular structure, whose function is to translate the genetic code of mRNA.
I think Carmela and I had the same science teacher.
I just from the laughing, I know what was just texted, and I'm not gonna say anything yet, but I'm gonna ask you before you give your answer if you just texted each other what I think you did.
Yeah. I was thinking the same thing,
sure
Katie.
It's going to be what you think it is.
And we can lock in, so you can find out sooner.
Okay. But I'm still not going to say it just in case, like, what I was going to say involves something that you were potentially going to give as an answer. I don't want to interfere. So you could say it and I'll let you know if it's what I was thinking.
Kelly well, mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
It's like the one thing people remember from biology class.
Honestly, I don't remember it from biology class. I associate it more with memes of people talking about science class.
Yeah, no.
But because of that, I think that's the one that actually, I think the mitochondria is the part that converts calories into like usable energy. Right. So I don't think that's the answer.
Right. And Stacy, you were talking about ribosomes.
Yes,
say more about that?
Ribosomes, I think, are the messengers, and they are what does the replication and transmits that. So I think that it's ribosomes.
I'm good with locking that in.
I'm not going to have anything better. I mean, I know some other parts of the cell, but I don't know what they do. So I'm good with ribosomes.
Okay. All right.
My classroom is right next to biology, so I hear it all day and pick up a little.
And Susan and Lisa, what'd you come up with?
I knew it right away because I used to teach science to middle school. So ribosomes is what we locked in with.
I don't need to do a big reveal because the answer is ribosomes.
Woo!
Good job.
Yay, teachers!
Good work, teachers. And our final question of round 6 in the category of comedy. What comedian, actress, and former late-night talk show host began her career on YouTube under the pseudonym Superwoman?
All right, we're locked in.
All right, Lisa and Susan, if you want to talk, you can.
Well, we were throwing some names around, and I can't. So we thought about Samantha Bee, but her show's still on. So we thought maybe Chelsea Handler. I can't think of anyone else who's young enough.
Yeah, trying to think of people who would have started on YouTube. And yeah, that's pretty much all we came up with. I'm not thinking of anybody else who would have had a late night show, at least that would have started on YouTube.
Right. Should we just lock in with Chelsea Handler?
Yeah, let's lock that in.
Okay.
All right. And Stacy, Kellie, and Carmela, who'd you lock in with? It flew out of my head and then it flew back into my head, fortunately, because I was going to cry. I couldn't remember her name. I watch a lot of YouTube, as it turns out. She's definitely younger. She's in her 30s, woman of color. She wears suits and sneakers when she was doing the late night show. This is Lily Singh. I'm almost certain it's Lily Singh.
It is Lily Singh. From 2019 to 2021, she had a late night show called A Little Late Night with Lily Singh.
Yeah. Okay, so that is the end of the 6th round. Close the gap. Lisa and Susan are still in the lead with 160. Stacy, Kellie, and Carmela are right behind them with 156. We're going to get into the gauntlet, but first, Katie's going to tell us what the gauntlet category is.
Gauntlet category is called We Are Family.
All right, our wager is locked in.
Okay, we're locked in.
Let's do it.
Question 1 in the gauntlet, whose category is We Are Family. What visual artist died at age 101 in 1961 at the end of an acclaimed 23-year career?
Oh,
yep, we're locked in.
All right. Yeah, if you guys are good with what I said, then we can lock in. All right.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Right.
Okay.
You're locked in.
Yes, everyone's locked in.
Gong.
That was the sound of the gauntlet.
Pretty good sound effects, Katie.
That was good.
All right, question 2. What is the common nickname of the Irish-born American dressmaker who became a prominent union organizer and activist after her dress shop was destroyed in the Great Chicago Fire of 1871?
We're locked in. We can lock in that.
Okay.
All right, then our answer is locked in.
Okay, and question 3. What was the stage name of the singer and early electric guitar pioneer who's been dubbed the godmother of rock and roll and had her biggest hit in 1945 with a recording of Strange Things Happening Every Day?
All right, we are locked in.
We were just about to lock in. So I think we're good, right, Lisa?
We're good. We can lock in, yeah.
We'll lock in.
Okay,
all right.
Perfect. So question 1 was, what visual artist died at age 101 in 1961 at the end of an acclaimed 23-year career? Susan and Lisa, what did you put for that?
Well, the first name that came to mind was Grandma Moses because of the short career and the long life.
And the theme.
And the theme.
Themes definitely help. Also helps that I got this question wrong in Learned League at one point. So I'm hoping that in this context it is correct because we went with Grandma Moses.
Okay. Question 2, the common nickname of the dressmaker who became a prominent union organizer. Not organist. Union organist would be a totally different career. Prominent union organizer and activist after her dress shop was destroyed in the Great Chicago Fire. Kellie, Carmela, and Stacy, what'd you go with for this one?
Stacy actually
so
came up with an
being
answer.
from West Virginia. Yeah, so being from West Virginia, I feel like we had this as a union. We took West Virginia history in like 8th grade, and this resonated with me as a union name. So we locked in with Mother Jones.
All right. And Susan and Lisa?
Yeah, we said Mother Jones, also based on the history of the magazine, Mother Jones, and the content of that magazine. And I believe that's where they got the name.
All right. And question 3, the godmother of rock and roll, who had her biggest hit in 1945 with Strange Things Happening Every Day. Susan and Lisa, what'd you put for this one?
So my husband's downstairs playing guitar right now, which hopefully you can't hear over this microphone.
We cannot.
We talk a lot of guitars, and I'm pretty sure that this person is also going to be represented in the Elvis movie that's coming out this summer by Baz Luhrmann, played by Yola, and I think it is Sister Rosetta Tharpe.
Okay, and Carmela, Kellie, and Stacy?
As I told them in the chat, I'm very good at getting things wrong, and I've gotten a similar question wrong before. But I believe Miss Information Pod did an episode on this lady, or included her in one of their episodes. We end up also going with Sister Rosetta Tharpe.
All right. 3 identical answers. Are they the correct 3 answers? Well,
we're either
let's
winning or
find
losing
out.
Together.
What visual artist died at age 101 in 1961? That was Grandma Moses. The union organizer is indeed Mother Jones. And the godmother of rock and roll is indeed Sister Rosetta Tharpe. And there is a full-length misinformation episode about her, and it's very good. So you all aced the gauntlet, so you will be adding on to your scores, but how much will it be? Let's go with Stacy, Carmela, and Kellie. How much did you wager?
Yep, so we were 4 points behind, so we were basically tied. So it was either all or nothing, and we decided it's a special episode, so we bet it all. So we bet all 156.
All right, and it all comes down to you, Lisa and Susan. How much did you bet?
So we had similar thinking, either make you guys earn it or risk it, risk it all. And we had same thinking, it's the women's episode, and, we gotta be brave here. So if our math was right, we bet 153.
153, okay. So with a score of 313 to 312, Susan and Lisa are our winners today. Congratulations.
Nice job, ladies.
Great game all around.
Scoring game.
So close and so high scoring. I love it. No one had anything to be afraid of with me in the host seat.
No, absolutely
I didn't promise that you didn't, but you did.
No, that was a fantastic game, and that was a lot of fun. Well,
good questions, Katie.
Thank you. Absolutely. Want to do any shout outs, any causes they want to promote? So Kellie, let's start with you.
Is it a huge faux pas to shout out one's husband on a women's episode day?
I shouted out my friend Dan for helping me with the chess pronunciation. So go for it. Sure.
I'm going to, because he's a rock star. He had his second brain surgery in December and has been recovering and trying to get back into the swing of life. And I'm so proud of him. And he doesn't give himself nearly enough credit. So, Brian, I love you. Thank you so much. And the group of D&D guys, they have a very special place in my heart, especially this week. One of them, I won't out him as a softie because I'm pretty sure it kind of violates his image. But thanks to one of them, I ended up with 24 tulips at my door. So thank you, D&D Chucks.
It's very sweet. Lisa.
Well, I will follow suit. I will give a shout out to my husband, Adam, who's in the kitchen making me dinner right now. He's been going through a lot in the past 6 to 8 months that he's been dealing with and coming through it very well. And things are looking brighter. He's awesome. What can I say?
Awesome. Stacy.
Yes, I will give a shout out to all of my students that come in during lunch and listen to trivia with me, and to my lovely daughters, and just say to everybody, hey, be kind to people with all of the things that are happening in the world, and lots of different changes, and your teachers and your coaches and the officials and everybody going through stuff. Just be kind.
Absolutely. Susan.
I was going to say the same thing. Be kind. Our daughter is 19. She's in a special program. She's autistic and delayed, and the pandemic had more of an impact on some of her behaviors than we expected. And people have been very kind when we've had her with us. And it's been a nice change to see that out in public. And also, I don't want to change up. I should shout out my husband, Greg, because he is her primary caregiver during the day. We have kind of reversed roles here. And so he's been doing a fabulous job of taking care of her and making sure she's ready for school and doing everything she needs to do.
Awesome. And Katie, we'll round out with you.
I am going to shout out Business Ventures and remind everyone to check out the Inkling, who co-produces the Everyday Q&A calendar, which I don't need to sell any right now because it's only March, but the time is coming. The Inkling, you can find out more about at inklingtrivia.com. Support your local nature conservation efforts. I'm especially fond of the Audubon Society that has chapters nationwide. And my husband's pretty cool, too. That's all. He doesn't listen to the podcast episodes I'm on, so whatever. He knows I love him.
All right. Well, this is our 4th women's episode that we've done. It's one of my favorite episodes to do during the year. So thank you all for being here with me today. I super appreciate it. And Katie, that was a great game. That was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Loved it.
All right. And for everyone else out there, we will see you next time. This has been Trivial Warfare, where it's not just trivia, it's war. Goodbye, everyone.
Thanks for listening to Trivial Warfare. Be sure to check out the revamped trivialwarfare.com as your one-stop shop to submit questions, join the community, and get access to over 150 archived episodes. Warm It Up was written and performed by Matthew Stevens. This episode was edited and produced by me, Joel Sharpton. For help with your podcast, visit propodcastingservices.com.